Hey, has anyone ever asked you, so what's your English level? And you kind of just froze? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. So today we're going to finally figure out a clear, confident way to answer that super tricky question.
All right, let's just dive right in with the big question itself.
Okay, so what is your English level? I mean, you hear it all the time, right? Job interviews, meeting new people. It sounds so simple on the surface. But the answer is, well, it's rarely simple. We usually say things like, oh, I'm pretty good, or I'm not quite fluent yet. But what does that even mean? It's kind of like trying to describe the color blue to someone. It's just vague. So, to get a real answer, we need to think about this a different way. We've got to move beyond this whole idea of just being fluent. And here's the thing, that word, fluent, it's a bit of a trap. It makes it sound like there's this magical finish line you either cross or you don't. And honestly, that black and white thinking, it's not helpful at all when you're trying to learn.
So let's ditch fluency for a minute and talk about proficiency. See, fluency is just a feeling, it's vague. But proficiency, that's a measurable skill. And that one little shift in words, it changes everything. Suddenly, learning a language isn't about some far-off destination. It's a journey, and a journey with really clear milestones. Okay, so if learning is a journey, then proficiency is our map. It's what shows us where we are and where we're going. So let's take a look at how we can actually map out your skills. Now, this map has a name. It's a global standard called the CEFR. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a mouthful. The Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. But trust me, it's basically the gold standard for taking all the guesswork out of where you stand. So this CEFR map is broken down into three main areas. You've got A for basic users, B for independent users, and C for proficient users. And each of those big areas is split into two smaller levels, kind of guiding you along from one stage to the very next. And this is the really cool part. These levels aren't about how many words you've memorized. Nope. They're all about what you can actually do with the language in the real world. Anything from ordering a coffee, which is like an A1 skill, all the way to debating complex ideas at a C1 level. But wait, this map isn't just a single line. To really, truly understand your proficiency, we need to look at it from four different angles. And that brings us to the four key skills. See, real proficiency is all about balance. It's not just one thing. You need this combination of four separate abilities to be a really well-rounded, confident English speaker. So let's break them down real quick. You've got your input skills, that's reading and listening, the stuff you take in, and then you have your output skills, writing and speaking, the stuff you produce. And you really do need all four to communicate well. And listen, here's something super important to remember. It is completely 100% normal for your skills to be unbalanced. Maybe you can read a super complicated article, no problem, but you get nervous trying to speak. That's not failure, not at all. It's just a signpost telling you, hey, maybe work on this part next. Okay, so we've got the map, we understand the different types of terrain, so the big question now is, how do you find your exact spot on that map? Well, that's what we're talking about next, finding your level and beyond. So if the CEFR framework is our map, think of an assessment as your own personal GPS. Seriously, it's not some scary, high-stakes final exam, it's just a tool that pinpoints exactly where you are right now so you can figure out the best way to get where you want to go. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to guess anymore. Just one single good assessment can give you a super clear picture of where you stand in all four of those skill areas. So, what's the first step on this new path? It's actually really simple. Take the test. That's it. That's how you finally trade in that vague, uncertain feeling of being pretty good for the solid, concrete knowledge of what you can really do. And I just want to leave you with this one last thought. Getting your result, finding out your level, that is not the finish line, not even close. It's the starting line. It's the moment you get the power to learn smarter, to set goals that actually make sense for you. So the real question isn't just, what's my level? It's, okay, now that I know, what's my next move?